Hi everyone, welcome to Mindwork with Dina podcast, where we explore science, society, philosophy, and beyond. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Today we are again diving into the mystery of consciousness. We will again explore some aspects of subjective experience and deal with the question that Thomas Nagel asked, which is, what is it like to be something? But now, before you start getting flashbacks to the last episode where things got a bit intense, I know, and also maybe a little bit overwhelming, I promise you that this time we're going to keep it simpler and also, more digestible. I think last time it was my inner perfectionist that wanted to have, everything done before starting another episode. Sorry for that. But guess what? Soon I will not be the only one talking here. We're gonna have some guests join the conversation. So if you're tired of hearing only my voice, help is on the way. So we will need subjective and objective a lot. So maybe it's a good idea to differentiate between these terms. So subjective means something that comes from a person's own feelings, thoughts, or experiences. So something that is personal and can be different for each person. So for example, how you feel about a song or how you see a color might be different from how somebody else feels about the song or sees the color, right? So it's something that only you can truly know and others cannot directly see it or measure it because it's personal, right? And objective refers to something that is based on facts. So it can be observed or measured by everyone in the same way. So it's not influenced by personal feelings or opinion. For example, the sky is blue. We say this is an objective observation because everyone can agree on the fact that the sky is blue. And coming to Thomas Nagel, he is a prominent philosopher and best known for his influential ideas on consciousness. And one of his most famous contributions is the essay, What is it like to be a bat? In German, Wie ist es, eine Fledermaus zu sein? And in this essay, he explores the nature of subjective experience. So this special personal experience. And he argues that every being with consciousness, so every conscious being, has this unique subjective perspective. So this special personal perspective. And he describes this as what is it like? So this subjective experience differs between different beings. So it means that the subjective experience or perspective varies from one being to another. So imagine trying to understand what it's like to be a bat. So bats use the so-called echolocation to sense their environment. This means they use sound waves to navigate and find food. And this is very different from how humans in general perceive the world. So Nagel argues that even if we learn everything about how a bat's brain works and how they use these sound waves to navigate, all we can do is to look at their behavior and brain and try to explain them. But only by doing this, only by looking at their behavior and brain, we cannot imagine what it feels like to be a bat because we don't have this subjective experience that the bats have. And this is due to limits of objective knowledge. So he suggests that, like I said, no matter how much we know about these physical processes, meaning looking at the brain and the behavior, the objective knowledge cannot fully explain the subjective experiences. This means these objective observations of brain and behavior cannot explain how these personal, unique experiences feel like. So again, here are some simplified explanations of the subjective nature of experience. So the key idea is that conscious experiences are, like I said, personal and unique to each individual. For example, only you can truly know what your own pain feels like, right? And there is a problem when you try to reduce the so-called phenomenal properties, because the qualities of experiences, like seeing the color red, cannot be fully explained by science alone. This is also a difficulty of reductionism. We talked about reductionism in the last episode. So this is the claim that we can reduce something to a simpler term. For example, reduce consciousness to a physical process that we can measure. For example, neural activity, claiming that consciousness is neural activity. And Nagel's essay challenges this idea because he says that all aspects of consciousness cannot be explained by only physical processes, by only doing scientific methods, because scientific methods are objective, and these objective methods cannot explain something subjective, like these conscious experiences. So basically, the key idea here is that you cannot fully break down experiences into just physical or chemical processes. For example, even if we know how the brain processes sound, we know how the brain processes sound, but we cannot understand what it feels like to hear music. And this is also a challenge for physicalism. So the physical science, according to Nagel, is not able to explain everything about these subjective experiences. Even if we understand, like I said before, the brain's working of a bat, we cannot fully understand how it or what it feels like to be a bat. And here we also come to this limit of scientific knowledge. So knowing how the brain works does not mean we know what it feels like to have those experiences, those conscious experiences. So another good example is understanding the brain's response to chocolate does not explain the pleasure we get from eating the chocolate. And according to Nagel, this highlights the fundamental limits of scientific knowledge. So guys, I hope this episode was simple enough to follow. I really try to use straightforward language and many examples to make these complex ideas more accessible. And I also intentionally kept the episode shorter to avoid overloading your brains with the complexities of consciousness. And next time we will talk about the hard problem of consciousness, but no worries, it will also be a simple and short episode, and the terms and the explanations are also very similar to those used by Thomas Nagel. So it's gonna be an easygoing episode. Thank you very much for listening and have a good time. Bye-bye.